25,000 men are about to kill 6,000. That's the math. That's the plan. That's what everyone on that field believes is about to happen. By sunset, the math will be backwards. October 25th, 1415. A muddy valley near a village called Agincourt in northern France. On one side stands the French army, roughly 25,000 men, knights in the finest armor money can buy, noblemen from the most powerful families in the kingdom, already thinking about the ransoms they'll collect after the battle.
On the other side stands an English army that shouldn't even be standing. Around 6,000 men, mostly archers, exhausted, sick, starving. Their own king is ill. The French outnumber them more than 4 to 1, and by the end of the day, thousands of French nobles will be dead, while English losses are a fraction of that. So the question isn't who won, it's how an army this broken destroyed an army this strong.
Rewind a few months. England and France have been at war for generations in what history calls the 100 Years' War. England is broke and politically unstable, so launching a full invasion of France is a terrible idea. Henry V does it anyway. He crosses the Channel, lays siege to the port of Harfleur, and wins. But the win is hollow. Dysentery tears through his camp. Hundreds die without a fight. And by October, the campaign is collapsing. The only move left is to march north to English-held Calais.
France sees this not as a retreat, but as an opportunity. They gather a massive force, knights, cavalry, crossbowmen, built to erase Henry's army for good. It's not just about numbers either. France still remembers Crécy and Poitiers, two earlier humiliations at the hands of English longbowmen, and decades of resentment are riding on this fight. The French move fast and cut off Henry's route north. The English king is trapped. The battle is now unavoidable. The night before, it rains hard, turning the field into a lake of mud. English soldiers sit in it, cold, starving, barely sheltered. Across the field, the French camp is confident, almost relaxed, expecting tomorrow to be a formality. Henry knows waiting means starvation, and retreat isn't an option. If his army is going to survive, they have to fight. Tomorrow. At dawn, the terrain reveals Henry's one real advantage. The field is narrow, boxed in by dense woods on both sides, meaning the massive French army can't spread out or surround him. It's forced into a bottleneck. Henry places men-at-arms in the center, longbowmen on the flanks, and sharpened wooden stakes in the ground ahead of them to stop cavalry charges cold. Across the valley, the French form up in a wall of steel. But that wall has a problem, and the problem is the ground underneath it.
Heavy armor is excellent protection, and brutally heavy. Every step through deep mud costs more energy than the last, and the bigger the army, the worse that problem gets. Henry forces the issue by advancing just enough to bring the French into bow range, and the first volleys go up. French cavalry charges the flanks to wipe out the archers, but the mud kills their speed. Arrows tear into them, and instead of crushing the English line, the cavalry crashes into its own infantry. The attack is falling apart before it even lands.
The main French force keeps grinding forward on foot into a field that's actively fighting them. When the front ranks reach the English line, close combat begins, but the men behind keep pushing. The men in front have nowhere to go, and fallen soldiers become obstacles in the mud. Instead of reinforcing the front, the second wave crushes it, and the French army starts collapsing in on itself.
Henry sees it happening in real time, and the English longbowmen do something nobody expects. They drop their bows, grab axes and mallets, and, without 60 pounds of plate armor slowing them down, move through the mud with ease and attack from the sides.
The French can barely fight back. Some are crushed under the weight of their own advancing army. Others simply fall and never get up. By early afternoon, it's over. Thousands of French soldiers are dead, including some of the most powerful noble families in the kingdom. English losses are a fraction of that, and word of the upset spreads across Europe almost instantly.
More men, more money, more nobles, more confidence. None of it mattered once the ground turned against them. The mud slowed them. The narrow field trapped them. The English arrows disrupted them. And their own numbers became the thing that destroyed them. At the center of it all was a sick, outnumbered king who understood one truth his enemy didn't. Battles aren't always won by the biggest army. Sometimes they're won by the one commander who understands the battlefield better than everyone else standing on it.